sponsored by AICTE ATAL and coordinated by Government College of Engineering. I extend a very warm welcome and a pleasant good afternoon to all the participants joined with us this afternoon. Now, I would like to invite the resource person of the day, Dr. Sherin ma'am, to handle session 3. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I'm just starting sharing my screen. As a very good afternoon to everybody. As most of the people who have joined maybe in one way connected to teaching field, so I have again brought another important session for everybody, and that session deals with stress in teaching. And nowadays, since teaching is online and beyond 2020, when COVID didn't came, we didn't have the recognition that we'll be facing this kind of problems. So offline teaching had its own issues, but now online teaching has raised some lot of stress issues. So let's check this. We'll be starting again with a beautiful video.
Teachers play a huge role in shaping children's lives, academically, socially, and emotionally. But teaching is known as one of the most stressful occupations. And this high stress is causing teachers to burn out, disengage, and become dissatisfied with their jobs and cause more turnover than ever. Studies estimate that between 30 and 40% of teachers will leave the profession by their 5th year. Teacher stress and turnover hurts students, schools, and communities, resulting in problems such as low student achievement in math and language arts, disrupted relationships between teachers, students, and parents, and costs to the system that exceed $7.3 billion a year. So what causes teachers stress in the first place? Many teachers are reporting that job satisfaction is at an all-time low. The pressure of high-stakes testing and managing difficult students have dramatically increased the cognitive and emotional demands of teachers, leaving them feeling overwhelmed. Teachers cite they often lack effective, inclusive leadership, and they feel powerless because they don't have much say in how the school is run. But there is hope. Some changes are being introduced that have been proven to help teachers. Mindfulness programs can help teachers manage emotions and find joy in teaching. Mentoring programs can help new teachers reduce stress and raise retention, which improves classroom instruction. Workplace wellness programs can improve teacher health, lower medical costs, and reduce absenteeism. Social and emotional learning programs for students can reduce teacher burnout and increase their satisfaction. Unfortunately, not enough schools offer these scientifically proven programs. It's time for school, district, state, and federal leaders to work toward healthier school environments for all children. This requires organizational change, not only to protect the well-being of teachers, but also to improve educational outcomes for students. To learn more, visit us online.
So it's important to understand that if there is stress in the life of the teacher, that will not affect only the stress inside the teacher, but it will affect the students and students who are the basic building block of a particular organization of a particular country. So it's important to understand that when you are a teacher, you have stress of tests, stress of gradings and exercises, and nowadays as academic institutions, we have stress of those NBAs, NACs coming, lot of paperwork, huge amount of paperwork that is being specified to the teachers. So it's important to understand that these type of a stress doesn't go out into the life of the teacher as in terms of a burnout. So you need to understand that burnout can be a very difficult situation to handle. And when we are thinking about a teacher has huge amount of issues when these particular stresses keeps on increasing. So it's important to understand that when we are a teacher, we are facing a lot of issues of student related issues, management related issues, and a lot of stress in our day-to-day life. And when we are talking about the new research, it has been giving understanding to some surprising strategies to deal with the stress that are being faced by the teacher. Now, breathing exercises are very, very important. So when you are going to take a class, it's important that you do some kind of breathing exercises, and it's important that you understand that it's a daily routine. And when you do a daily routine, you need to adapt that daily routine with more of happiness, with more of contentment, and with more of preparation. Very, very important. When you are dealing and going to present yourself with online or offline students, your preparation should be good. And this is a preparation and lack of confidence many a time that makes stress for a particular teacher in a classroom. So breathing is very, very efficient exercise that is being specified for a teacher whenever you are going to take a particular class. And it's important that you need to embrace your stress. Now, embracing stress, that uh, you need to understand that everybody has stress, but those negative attitudes, those negative issues, those negative proportions in mind, and is need to understand that this is my body, my soul, my work, my love, my passion, and I need to adapt it very cleanly and very sincerely in order to overcome this particular stress. And there can be short breaks, there can be short pauses, there can be an interconnect that can be happened with the help of interaction with the students, that will be helping you to overcome the stress that you are facing while taking your classes online or offline. Let's check this small video.
Welcome to Mindfulness Animated, a fun and helpful explanation. The brain has evolved so greatly that it spends much of its time solving problems that haven't yet occurred in the future, thus leading to anxiety or panic, and mulling over events in the past, leading to depression. Often it does both all the time. The question is, how can we make our brain stop and think about only the present, the state we are in, when we are in the zone or in the moment? Mindfulness is derived from the Eastern meditation, a practice for thousands of years recognized to help humans control and tame our brains. Research has shown that, among other things, meditation can help depression and anxiety, reduce stress, reduce pain, while improving concentration and giving us more energy. Meditation has also been shown to improve relationships, increase creativity, boost immunity, and may even prolong life. The question is, how do you do this? Simple. This three-step approach is all you need. For 15 to 25 minutes every day. Number 1, sit up. Number 2, close your eyes. Number 3, concentrate on your breathing or repeat a sound or word. And each time you notice that your mind is wandering, bring your thoughts back to your breath or sound or word. And if it wanders again, just bring it right back. Keep doing this until your 15 minutes has passed. I would use a meditation timer app on your phone or any timer. The more you do, the easier it gets. Many people notice their breathing slow during mindfulness meditation, and sometimes respiratory rates reduce dramatically, but this often confers benefits of mood and anxiety. Remember, each day will be different, and some days will be easier than others. Over time, you will notice that your mind wanders less,
or that you can control it more as you begin to accept that it naturally wanders, but that you can bring it back to the thought at hand much easier. Once this happens, you will notice how much more time you have as your brain finds itself enjoying the present, the birds singing, the smell of the flowers, and the color of the leaves. You may start noticing subtle smiles and looks from people all around you. Welcome to Inner Peace. Thank you for watching.
It's very important to understand that inner peace is very, very important, because if you're not specifying inner peace as the most important concept in your life, then you are lagging. And it's important to be imperfect, like easy. Many a times when you are in a class, you can sing a song, you can communicate with your students, always taking that like danda in your hand, and always becoming a kind of a teacher. In terms of the learning and experience, it's fine, but it can be easy to be imperfect. You can be interacting with your students, you can be communicating with your colleagues, and you can talk to them. Little bit imperfection is the part of life that helps you to make less stressful, and your imperfections make you beautiful. Remember, it can be any imperfection, physical imperfection, your doing imperfection. It's easy. It's make you different. And it's important to understand that always being perfect is not the solution. It always creates again another kind of stress in your mind. And it's important to understand that stress is related to a lot of specification of stress are related to emotional understanding. So when you are considering yourself connected with stress, so it's important to understand that failures or successes are just a part of life. They are parts of life, and if you are not able to succeed in something, it's not that you have failed. So emotionally thinking that you have failed will take you to distress. It's important that you distract yourself. Sometimes we did the ABC therapy, in which we said that it's important that we can distract ourselves a little bit, and that will help you to overcome those negative thoughts that usually come into your minds. So that me time, that prioritization, that thinking alone, looking to the stars, looking to the earth, looking to the natural beauty, can be very, very emotional connect to the brain, to the your soul, and to your mind. And this is the thing that we are not doing nowadays, being grateful. Nowadays what is happening, that we are lagging. We are thinking of the specification that we are on to the journey, that we are not grateful, we are not connected. We say that we are facing the issues, but there are a lot of issues that are faced by other people. What you have, you should be grateful on that. Work hard, strive to achieve the best. If you are not able to get it, maybe you have something more better into your life. So gratefulness to people, gratefulness, humbleness, gratefulness to God. It's very, very important. That stop, look, and go. If you are stopping at a particular place, looking and going, should be the scenario. Go means forward, looking forward, taking the advantage and taking the offers that life give at that particular moment. Always becoming futuristic, always thinking about the future, will never make you grateful. And I am forever grateful. That should be your terminology. Even drinking that water, you should be grateful. Grateful to God, grateful to the nature, grateful to everything. Then that gratefulness will bring the humbleness, that will bring a lot of positive thoughts in your mind. Let's check with this again, a beautiful video.
Hi everyone, my name is David. I'm a therapist here at SOAS Massage and Bodywork. And I'm going to give you a quick tip on self-care massage for headaches. First off, you can just get your fingertips and just kind of work them in a circle on your forehead. Around circle all the way out to the edge. Then move up your scalp, just kind of along your hair, all the way to the base of your skull. Then out around your sides towards your temples. Then you can get your thumbs. Just kind of rest your head on them, right where is the sensitive spots, right along where your eyes meet your nose. Just kind of let your head rest and move in a little circles back and forth. Just move them outwards slowly. You can focus on those little sensitive spots. Once you do that, you can get the thumbs again. You take your index fingers and kind of pinch and pull them down all the way along your eyebrows. And then next you get your fingers again and kind of do circles around your temples and down past your ears, along your jawline. Those would be some sensitive spots. Just feel some bumps. Just go back and forth across them. And then you can take your fingertips again around your nose and cheeks. Little circles. And then you can take your thumbs. And you're going to want to stretch your jaw down as far as you can go. So just put your thumbs on your jaw and kind of look upwards. And that's it. Thank you very much.
So this is again a very, very, yes? Somebody want to speak something?
Annie Rose, ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, the audio was not clearly audible. That's what I thought, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So shall I play it again?
Ma'am, actually, if you give the hide option, we can read at least the subtitles, ma'am, if you don't mind.
What I shall give, ma'am?
In the hide option, if you are giving, we can read. The subtitles are coming there.
Ma'am, stop sharing. Stop sharing. Near that, we have hide. You click
Yes,
that,
ma'am. Yes,
and the bar will disappear. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'll just play it again, ma'am.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is David. I'm a therapist here at SOAS Massage and Bodywork, and I'm going to give you a quick tip on self-care massage for headaches. First off, you can just get your fingertips and just kind of work them in a circle on your forehead, around circle all the way out to the edge, and then move up your scalp, just kind of along your hair, all the way to the base of your skull, then out around your sides towards your temples. Then you can get your thumbs and just kind of rest your head on them, right where is the sensitive spots, right along where your eyes meet your nose. Just kind of let your head rest and move them in little circles back and forth. Just move them outwards slowly. You can focus on those little sensitive spots. Once you do that, you can get the thumbs again. You take your index fingers and kind of pinch and pull them down all the way along your eyebrows. And then next you get your fingers again and kind of do circles around your temples. And down past your ears. Along your jawline. Those would be some sensitive spots. Just feel some bumps. Just go back and forth across them. And then you can take your fingertips again around your nose and cheeks. Little circles. And then you can take your thumbs, and you're going to want to stretch your jaw down as far as you can go. So just put your thumbs on your jaw and kind of look upwards.
Sherin, ma'am, sorry for the interruption, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you have to click that hide option, ma'am.
Ma'am, I clicked it.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you. Participants are writing their comments on the chat box.
Okay. No, ma'am, what is happening? Are you not able to hear the voice?
No, ma'am, your voice is clear, but that hiding option is always appearing below the video, ma'am.
Okay,
So
I got it.
message.
I
No,
got it. Got it now.
Okay.
Got it now.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
fine.
I
Thank you.
understood. Okay.
Thank
Okay. So participants, do you want me to play it again or shall we move forward? Ma'am, do they want me to play it again?
Yes, ma'am, you can replay it.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is David and I'm a therapist here at SOAS Massage and Bodywork. And I'm going to give you a quick tip on self-care massage for headaches. First off, you can just get your fingertips and just kind of work them in a circle on your forehead, a round circle all the way out to the edge. And then move up your scalp, just kind of along your hair, all the way to the base of your skull. Then out around your sides toward your temples. Then you can get your thumbs and just kind of rest your head on them, right where you get the sensitive spots right along where your eyes meet your nose. Just kind of let your head rest and move in little circles back and forth. Just move them outwards slowly. You can focus on those little sensitive spots. Once you do that, you can get the thumbs again, and you take your index fingers and kind of pinch and pull them down all the way along your eyebrows. And then next you get your fingers again and kind of do circles around your temples and down past your ears, along your jawline. Those be some sensitive spots, just feel some bumps. Just go back and forth across them. And then you can take your fingertips again and go around kind of your nose and cheeks. Little circles. And then you can take your thumbs. And you're going to want to stretch your jaw out as far as you can go. So just put your thumbs on your jaw and kind of look upwards. And that's it. Thank you very much.
So this is again a very, very important exercise that you can do for, especially for headaches and other kind of stresses. So again, you need to understand that grass is greener on the other side, and it's important to understand that grass is greenest when it is watered. And how to do watering of that particular grass is that you may have a tough day when a particular day, but the reality is that you have a lot of challenges, you have a lot of good days, good memories, good working scenarios that will be coming into your life. You need to water it, you need to continuously nourish it in order to make your teaching, your life less stressful. And work smarter, not harder. I always believe on that style of teaching. During my teaching, I always make my students do some gate questions, gate numericals, other type of competitive exams numericals. So rather than focusing on every topic, and that topic also with rather than going on the theoretical aspect, I go with them with more of a practical aspect. So I don't work harder with them, but I always focus them to be a smart teacher. So when you are a smart teacher with them, your students will understand it in a very, very easier manner, and you will not have your stress. And even in your working scenario also, when you are working, you need to be very, very smarter. You need to be specify in a smarter manner your working front also, your issues also. Fighting and stressing yourself every time will not be the solution. See how smarter the cyclist is, and he's winning the race also. So be smarter rather than going with harder. Be always be smarter. And asking for help does not brings you down. It is not an ego issue. And how brilliant you are, how if you take help from somebody, it will not cause any of the issue. So it's important that you understand that it doesn't make you weaker, it makes you good, it makes you societal accepted when you are asking for help. So when you are helping, you can also ask for help. It doesn't make you smaller or doesn't affect your ego at all. Your friend can be asked, your colleague can be asked. Obviously, it's better to ask those person who really can help you rather than asking a person who will not help you, and again you will be in a stress situation that I always help and they are not helping me. So at least you should understand in a smarter manner that who can help you and who cannot help you, and make a connection. Nowadays those connections are destroyed. Nowadays we are not making any of the time to cultivate our relationship with our students, with our neighbors, with our colleagues, with our families. We are just concentrating on money making. We are becoming money making machines, and we are going for 9 to 5, coming back, sleeping, taking rest. That's fine, but connection and having a healthy family environment and healthy friends environment, connecting them during a break, during your any kind of a festival, can be very, very effective. So this video also has brought something new for you.
Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. Amid the coronavirus pandemic, the fallout of the resultant lockdown is being felt across the globe. To arrest the spread of the coronavirus, schools and colleges have been asked to remain shut, and online classes have become the order of the day. Both public and private education institutes are trying to adapt to online learning in order to keep the curriculum good. Homeschooling has replaced the classroom teaching, and laptops and phones are now the new tools for the teachers to engage with students. With schools shut since mid-March, children are showing great deal of excitement about virtual classrooms but miss the school environment.
Homeschooling enables students to explore a whole new world of technology while still learning. It instills self-discipline and self-compliance in students with respect to time management. But nevertheless, homeschooling does not offer the fun and learning like the one in a physical classroom.
Teachers still give us homework and are still there to answer 1,000 queries. Major downside though is that we don't get to hang out with our friends. I like playing football and there's none of that anymore. The online class system was kind of new to me at first, but now as my tuitions are also there, so I'm pretty used to it.
Our school has graciously arranged online classes for us so that our studies don't get hampered. These changes certainly have caused a degree of inconvenience, but all thanks to our school, we are coping up with it just fine. Daily classes have been arranged to maintain progress in studies, and our classes are taken on every Saturday to ensure that no topic is left half understood.
The shift in the medium has been a new learning curve for a lot of teachers as they adapt to the online world of new applications and e-material learning. However, many teachers feel lack of physical school environment can hamper in the overall development of a child.
As teachers, we have this huge responsibility to ensure that the learning cycle keeps moving. I am conducting classes over online learning platforms every day. Meeting children virtually and teaching them has added another dimension to the whole teaching learning process and bonding with the children. Every single day I feel I am learning something new and I am exploring something new. Every single day I am adding something to my skills. It has been a great learning journey for me as well.
Homeschooling does ignore certain vital aspects of a physical school environment. A child getting an opportunity to participate in a drama or in a particular dance. The child understanding the concept of society for the very first time, because the school is like a model of the society that the child is going to step into when the child grows up. Essential life skills such as collaborative learning, such as communication skills, such as empathy, such as management skills. I think online learning or homeschooling cannot provide these essential life skills the way a school can.
It's been 20 days now since we had our first online class, and every day we've had some or the other troubleshooting to do. The biggest challenge, I believe, was to reach out to everyone in the classroom, which includes EWS children or children with certain intellectual or learning disabilities, children with special needs per se. So if I were to look at it in long term, holistically, if I look at the country at large, I don't see a possibility that the entire Indian education system can go online. But yes, it's a privilege that a lot of private schools have, especially in the capital.
Children's safety is also at risk due to increasing online time and the pandemic. UNESCO also came out with a list of possible problems that children might go through during this lockdown. Heightened risk of online exploitation, possibility of being bullied online, exposure to violent content are some of the risk factors that children could be exposed to, but as students log on from phone, parents struggle with this transition.
We are all right now adapting to the system of online classes, whether it's teachers in the school and the children or the parents. So it's a good thing because it keeps the kids occupied and provides some kind of a structure to the day. But we are still, adapting to the technology. We are adapting to, which platform to use for how long. Then the challenges are how to keep children engaged, how to wake them up on time for class, because one doesn't really get into that whole psychological feeling that you're going to school and a sort of sense of answerability.
The online training program or online education which the teachers are not following, it allows them to record the videos and upload them on the platform rather than, it's more like an exaggerated version of a WhatsApp video rather than an education platform which the students would wish to go for. And the user in the experience of the applications is pathetic to say the least. And there is no one-on-one communication happening between the teacher and the student. There is no, it's just the teachers are running through the portions rather than imparting the knowledge which the students would wish for or the parents would wish for.
Experts have suggested a framework to protect children from such possible incidents. They have advised parents to establish rules to use technology. Online applications and e-learning platforms must be used only to empower children. Schools must also ensure that they sensitize children about online safety. And lastly, the government must strengthen its support services to protect people, particularly children, from the hazards of the internet.
So this was again a very important thing that told you that how online teaching has become an important part of our lives in this pandemic, and not only teachers, parents, students, all are facing the issue of online teaching. But when you are teaching remotely, there's a lot of stress there because you're not able to see the student, what the student may be sleeping, maybe just opening and you cannot force them to open the camera and so on. So you need to understand some of the ways in order to work effectively towards your online teaching mechanism. See, there's a lot of teachers who are handling that online teaching in a very, very effective manner, and they are giving their 100% in order to connect to the people, connect to the students in a very effective manner, even though don't have those accessories in order to connect, but they are making the best of it. So give your 100% and it will be repaid back to you in one or the other way. So when you are talking about any kind of a remote teaching, when we are going for the remote teaching, especially the online classes, and it is an opportunity for us to learn something new, because before the pandemic, we never thought that we have an ATAL FDP that will be online. We never thought that we'll be having classes online. And it is a good technology to learn, a good scenario where students are also saving their commuting time. They're not stressing. You also are saving your time, although many of the colleges have been open for faculties, but for students still it is at home. So you need to bring some positive perspective in terms of this understanding. And be kind and patient. Why I'm telling you to be kind and patient? Because as teachers, there are many of the students who are actually facing those network issues. Some are taking the advantage, that is other thing, but some are actually facing the issue. Some are actually don't have those gadgets. So you need to be patient to them. Although if it is being done gradually every time, then you can take some action. But actually you need to connect with your students in a very healthier manner, in a very healthier note. Because once you connect to your students in a healthier manner, then they will be able to connect you with your problems. And you need to modify them, mail them, WhatsApp them, chat with them in order to understand their actual needs and issues. And you need to set boundaries. Boundaries means every time they cannot connect with you. because that could be very much stressful, because you are in a family, you are connected with that work also. So you need to set boundaries in terms of teaching. Be uh, interactive with your students, but don't be friends. I never think that teacher and students can be friends. Friendship is another thing. Nor a boss or a employee can be a friend. So friendship is a thing that you are very open to, but these are certain relations that you are not open to. You can be interactive, you can be friendly, but you cannot be a friend. Remember the two aspects. You can be connected with your students in a friendlier manner, in a more connected manner, interactive manner, but you need to understand that especially during the lockdown and especially during the online platforms, you have some issues. Students have some issues, so you need to connect them in a more patient manner. Now, it's important to understand that since we are going with online scenario, the students should be given some specific outcomes to focus upon, and they should be told that what is the actual benefit of these particular assignments. Just throwing out huge number of assignments to the students will not serve the purpose, and you need to provide some kinds of important questions, important terminologies, important gate questions, some kind of important understanding terminology, some flow charts, rather than focusing on a lot of theory contents to be traveled to them. And also it's important to understand that a particular time for every lesson and assessment should be specified. For example, if your lesson is taking 2 to 3 classes, 4 classes or 5 classes, 1 or 2 classes can be kept for assignment, and one another class can be kept for assessment or judgment or a Google form or interaction or doubt session, so that the students are able to get into the insight of that particular concept, and they are able to plan their work, plan the assignment in a more effective manner. Just throwing out hundreds of assignments and a huge number of assignments to the students will not serve the purpose. Now, making assignments lower or no states if you're using a new platform, it's important when you are teaching something to the students. For example, I can tell you that last 3 days back, I was taking a PhD exam of one of my students, and the coursework exam. She was from Afghanistan. She didn't know how to submit it on a Google Classroom. So I had to take around 15 minutes to help her understand, do a call to her, make her understand where that button is, how to upload that material. So there are things that actually the students are facing, they don't know. You have to make them understand if there is a new platform, be humble to them, be nice to them. But remember that you are a teacher, you have to set your boundaries. If there is a nuisance in the class, you should not accept that also. Remember that, because there's a dignity of the teacher, there is a dignity of the person. Nuisance causing students should be removed immediately, and you should be behaving as a teacher, connected to them. But if they do any nuisance, you can act as responsibility. Then there is a laughter yoga. Then laughter yoga has played a very, very important role, especially in terms of stress relieving. And let's see this, how laughter yoga is playing an important role.
Laughter yoga is a set of exercises that is designed and geared for laughing for no reason. You don't need jokes or funny stories or comedy. It's for everybody and anybody can do it. It's based on clapping and then pranayamic yoga breathing and then laughing. It's based on the idea and the theory that if you laugh, the physics of laughing, your body will not understand whether it's genuine or fake laugh, and will still benefit from it. It started in 1995 by a medical doctor called Dr. Kataria from India. He developed these exercises, and now it's spread around more than 60 countries, about 6,000 laughter clubs around the world. Now they've started using using it corporates and prisons, for children, for people with special needs, for elderly people, because there are some exercises we do that will help the coordination of the eye and the movement of the hands and revive the memory, because laughter yoga helps in the flow of oxygen into the blood and the main organs of the body. I still feel people cannot get out of their comfort zone and they cannot get rid of their negative beliefs, and I thought laughter yoga will help them to feel free, to boost their self-esteem. So I combine the coaching with the laughter yoga to help people feel at ease and be happy and fulfill their aims and achieve their goals. I found that life is very stressful, especially with all what's happening around us. So people need some kind of exercise to laugh for no reason, to be more healthy, to have more energy in them. It's for any age, for anybody. Just bring your laugh and come along.
I've never done it before, and I didn't really know what to expect. I'd heard a little bit about it before, but I wasn't sure. I'd never seen this section in action, and it was brilliant. I really loved it, and I laughed a lot more than I thought I would, and I didn't feel self-conscious, and I actually just felt a really strong bond with the people around me, even though I'd never met them before. And yeah, it was very relaxing, and it was really invigorating, and definitely something I'd like to do again.
Much funnier than I expected to be. I laughed a lot. Initially I felt a bit self-conscious, but then I just couldn't stop laughing, and then I heard myself laughing, and then I had other people laughing, and then I nearly had a heart attack. And then actually I haven't laughed like that in a very long time. I feel really chilled actually. I had a really stressful day, and now I feel very relaxed.
It's the first time here. Before I had done in India, in Mumbai.
This would be my first time. I've done yoga before, and we had a small 10-minute session on laughter yoga, but I've never had a 45-minute long session just laughing my head off. I definitely go back any day, especially with my mom, because I've never heard my mom laugh so much. So it was quite a good experience, and it's something that people can do.
Okay, so this is again a very, very important therapy that is being recognized in a lot of stress relieving centers, where laughter yoga has been becoming a very important aspect to overcome the stresses in the life. So when you are also talking about some kind of online teaching, and supplementary material should be provided to the students in terms of some handouts, some shorter videos, some links, some NPTEL material, for example, for the Indian students who are practicing for some GATE and other important exams. And it's important to give them time, respect to the particular content, rather than throwing huge amount of assignments for them. They also get tired, they also get stressed. So time management is important for students as well as for teachers' schedule. And if you are making videos for the students, keep them short, 3-4 minutes. Nobody will watch a huge amount of number when the video is too long. And you can have some fun exercises with them, some interaction with them, something creative that your students can be connected, rather than throwing huge number of questions to them at every time. And you need to have some feedbacks also, very important, because those feedbacks, those doubt sessions will help you to understand where you are lagging, where students are lagging, what are the issues in the connectivity with the students. So feedback sessions, which are being which are lot of emphasized during the NAC and NICT and AICTE surveys also, but it should be the actual feedback, your feedback, one-to-one direct with your students. And it's important that you should understand that for online, you need to understand that assignments and course materials, and you need to prepare the students. And it's best to understand that what best exercises, what best data can be provided to them, so that the learning can be made easier. And finally, remember that it's your classroom, it's your students, and they are the backbone of a particular country. So reinvent, do something new that can be entertaining for your students, and your connection and bond with your students get established more. And when you are saying that we need to reinvent, so then you can have different types of sources, resources. You can connect to the students in a better manner. You can have some better sessions with them. And as said by Brad Johnson, relationship before rigor, grace before grades, patience before programs, and love before lessons. Very important for the students that grace before grades, patience before programs, and love before lessons. So as a teacher, you should understand that your students are like your children. So you need to nourish and nurture them. And innovative teachers keep the students engaged with beautiful stories, with beautiful case studies, with beautiful understandings, and kind of mood boosters on a daily basis, so that students, whether college students or school students, get connected in a very, very easier and authentic manner. Get them moving. And especially in the online classes, it's important that they can do something creative, be connected with them, have an interactive session with them. And in the offline session, you can have some scissor activities them, some stretching activities them, some yoga with them, because this is the trend in many of the European countries. India, this is very less. We are more concentrated on teaching, and students, many a times, those 2 hours and 3 hours class, they get bored themselves and nothing goes into their head. So it's important to connect to them in a very, very interactive and enriched manner. And normally in those various types of countries, those ho ha ha, some types of dance parties are happening, with the 30 seconds dance party with the students. Then some types of stretching exercises, breathing in and breathing out exercises, some class that is kept outside in the campus, and so on. And they innovate themselves in order to have a very, very healthy relationship between the students and the teachers. And calm routines is that you need to specify your schedule changes, if any schedule change, to the students in easily. Don't shout out to them, don't stress them, and don't you also get stressed. Then many a times there's a classes being taken outside, and where fresh air is there. So post COVID, when we meet our students offline, we can have those classes outside also. Some rewards can be given to the students who do good, that will help them boost their scenario of working. Similarly, bring some nature into them, bring some videos which are helpful them to breathe in, breathe out. You also can benefit, and they also can benefit it in a very, very understandable manner. Obviously, some activities that can calm their brain, some coloring, sometimes of productivity, sometimes of relaxation, sometimes of daily check-in, where how the day was, some quotes written on the blackboards. Normally in the school we did, every time, every day we had that quote being written. There was a quote monitor who you need to write a quote on the blackboard and the whiteboards. But when you come to the colleges, we are more of career oriented, we just focus on studies. Both the way, there can be two types of students. One, those who are more concentrated on one end, and there are other students who are not concentrated at all. So that can be a scenario that can be specified in order to be more understanding in the terminology of teaching. Then you can have breaks. Teachers can also have break. They can have some types of coffee breaks. They can have, I prefer those ruafza breaks, and simply keeping my head down for 5 minutes. Distraction is what I think. Counting out loud, talking to somebody, just walking out of the class for 5 minutes. That can be a healthy scenario for both online and offline teaching. And it's important to celebrate the success of your students, celebrate the success of your colleagues, And it's important that one day can be kept as we have those birthday celebrations, some kind of some other success celebration. So this will help you to lower, and as you are connected with your family, you can connect in a similar manner with your colleagues also. During your any kind of a celebration, some type of sweets can be taken to your office, college, to any workplace, and then your more of that family environment can be established. These stress strips, and these are very very important, where you need to understand that some kind of good breakfast, some good protein, some kind of healthy exercises, and especially the healthy breakfast and health, because normally what we think that when we are going out, we normally say that we don't have the time of eating the breakfast, we normally skip our diet, and then we feel more stressful, because when we're tired we feel more stressful and we're not able to concentrate in a lot of work. So it's important to understand that taking good food is also a kind of de-stressing exercise. Then hugging someone who is your close one, relaxing out for a while, some homework routines, then making meals for your family, and off-screen time, very very important, that we discussed also, that you should have some time of reading with your children, with your family. You can connect with any type of stories, you can connect with any type of discussion with your children, with your husband, or with your any kind of loved one, and understand it in a very specific manner. Let's check this, how there is a teaching being going on in different schools.
Number one, the more you invest in your physical health, the better your mental health. So that means teachers and students are both well rested, that they have nourished their bodies, and also that they have invested some time in exercise, in movement of some kind. Number two, we're looking at setting reasonable limits. So that might look like something for teachers leaving at the end of the day. When your time is up and you've set that limit, go home and spend some quality time with your pets or your family. And for students, it's things like knowing when you've learned all you can learn. A lot of students go back and they try and do all their homework, and they're spending hours and hours, and what we know is that that's not effective either. Number three is practice mindfulness. So mindfulness is really bringing attention to the present in a very non-judgmental way. We live in a digital world where our heads are always in technology, and sometimes we're not reflective on what's actually happening around us. So some mindfulness techniques might be mindful meditation, and this does not have to be, 30 minutes of uninterrupted sitting silently. We're really talking about a couple of minutes can make a huge impact. Number four for me is get a hobby. If we can do something that we are passionate about, or that we love, or that brings us that joy, those times that are busy and hectic and scary for some of us are much easier to handle. Number five, I think that we are so caught up in what the grade looks like. What is our level? What is our mark? That we forget that the most essential part of the learning process is what we learn and how we grow. And if we can start to take the emphasis off of the mark and really focus on how I as a person grew from whatever it was that I was doing, I will have a lot more value and the stress will be lower.
So now, before ending this particular session, I will be having discussions in the last half an hour. A very, very beautiful song that normally gives me a lot of relief. So let's have this special song for you all. Since this is my last session, now I'm signing off here from Jamia Hamdard. And during this pandemic, we have done a lot of work for the humanity and for the society. We did a Unnat Bharat Abhiyan project in which we served one of the, we made an app, and I'll be sharing that app details also with the organizers, and you can go and check that app during the pandemic. And we got 1 lakh rupees proposal from Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, and also we are continuously connected with the UBA, and we are doing a lot of work with especially the 5 villages that we have taken up for Delhi. So whether you are engineers, whether you are doctors, you need to connect it with the society and repay back to it. And these are my mail IDs. You can connect to me anytime. I'll share my number also for any queries, for any issues. And you can go also on YouTube and watch my number of recordings and sessions that I have given during various types of ATAL FDPs and STTPs. And now I'm open to a lot of questions, and because this is the last session, so I'll be open to a lot of questions also with everybody of you. And if anything important you want to share and convey, we can have a 30 to 45 minutes interactive question answer session, or interactive session by any of the participants who want to interact.
Dear participants, the forum is open for you. You can interact with the resource person with your queries. She'll be readily answering all your queries, and she's waiting for you. The forum is yours. You can unmute yourself and you can speak to the resource person, or you can either post your queries in the chat box that will be addressed by our resource person.
I think Neha ma'am had some of the query. She put it before. It is really stressful when you are teaching, when they are not responding, even when you ask questions. Yes, ma'am. During the online teaching, we had those issues, and we are facing those issues. But the solution for that is, I think we can have some interactive classes, more of that, more of interactive session, interactive classes. And normally what I do, if 2 or 3 classes they don't really respond back, I remove them from the class. Attendance is one of the issue. They will revert back. So attendance is a very specific issue for them. When you don't give them attendance for 2-3 days, they will revert back. They will start communicating. Or if there is actually an issue, just tell them to connect with you, or through WhatsApp, through their mobile, through their any type of talk. So once you connect with the students, I think so that students will start responding. But this is the habit that the students have made during the online. They normally sleep, just connect. But I think as teachers, God have made teachers very creative. We can find out some creative solutions to interact with them with more efficiently and patiently. And it's important, and little bit benefit of doubt we can give to them, because due to this online teaching mechanism. Teaching to screen when they don't respond. Yes, this is happening, but as I told you, sometimes we can get those cameras open, sometimes we can have connectivity there with them. Normally, ma'am, this happens. This time we have so interactive participants and audience. Sometimes when I go to sessions, nobody speaks up, and normally I feel that although I take a lot of stress making my PPTs, and I normally take 100% specification to include some interactive videos, audios, have some interactive chats with the audience, but many times they don't speak. So when teachers aren't speaking, so you cannot expect students also to speak. So as teachers who join a lot of FDPs and STPs, and they normally just connect and don't interact, then how can you blame your students? So this is the matter. I'm not blaming anybody, but this has become one of the stressful situations. So if you are connected in any kind of an FDP or STTP, you should also be interactive. So when you are interactive, surely your students will also be learn from you, and they will also be interactive. I can tell you, when you are teaching around a class which has 30 to 35 students, I can tell you my 30 students are active. There are some 5 students which are always inactive, and normally during the assignment and that, I take the situation and I then mark them as accordingly, because normally with a lot of pain also they are not able to understand that. So the solution I normally give is not give them so good marks, because marks and attendance is very important for them. So once that get lowers, they start interacting and they start communicating. Jyoti ma'am had this. Yes, music and this nature plays a very, very important role, and very effective, soothing to eyes. Seeing nature beauty is soothing to eyes and ears both. Uh, yes, but I think when you are talking about attendance is an important paradigm for for students. So you need to make them connected with one or another thing. It can be a small online test. It can be maybe opening your cameras. Maybe some activity that they need to connect to them, because doing job is not actually the right platform for them at that particular time. But for final year students, when they are doing some kind of internship, they should be given that relaxation, because actually these internships play a very, very important role for their job. So final year students should be given a little bit of relaxation. A social networking can be stress causing also and stress relieving also. For many a time when I am facing a lot of stress from my college, or from my any kind of relationship, normally I watch some YouTube videos, I watch some Instagram that makes me happy. So it can be a vice versa for anybody. But if you are taking it efficiently, making a habit of something can always cause a stress. Making good habits of doing exercises, good food, healthy diet, that is important. But making social media an habit can cause you stress. So rather than making that particular habit, you can make a habit which is stress relieving, and that can be an exercise of watching. Sometimes social media doesn't cause stress, I think so. But if you are making continuously into the habit of your going and always be in your mobile, then that is not good. So that can be stressing. If anybody has any other questions, I'm ready to answer. I think we have finished the questions on the chat box. Thank you all who are posting. Thank you all for the praises you are giving me, and you can be connected to me. I'm giving you my number also. I'm sharing in the chat box. Any of the hobby of any of the participant that help you to reduce the stress apart from any exercises, you can just write in the chat box, or you can just open your mics. Brijesh sir, I want to tell to you, I don't think so that the powers are not in the hand of the teachers. When you are going exactly, when the students are going into the getting the jobs, if they are not sincere enough, 101%, they will not they will not get good jobs. Their future will not be so good as compared to those students who are much attentive. So as I can tell you, there are students which are always notorious. So we should focus on those 30 students who are good, rather than focusing on those 5 students who are actually notorious. And for them, if they are not attending the class, they'll not, our class will not be affected. So we'll not focus on them, because there will be 2-3 students. They can be notorious because it is their habit, or they want to disturb others. It can be anything. But if those 30 students are good, we should focus on them. And I don't think so that teacher doesn't have power. Getting 60% is not the worth. 60% is never the worth. If you are giving them 60%, it's okay. Let them get 60%. But when they'll get into the market, they will understand the importance of classes. They'll understand the importance of marks they are getting, and they are not getting due to what they have not done. So only saying doesn't prove your power. Proving your power in terms of their marks, proving the power if they're not attending your class will show them once in their lifetime. Yes, I think nowadays the most important thing that students are, they are not very they're not respectful, and I think there's a lot of effort that is coming from the families also, because students are getting lot of affection and extra pampering from their parents and families. And normally when we were there as children of our parents loved us but never pampered us. So I think extra pampering that is being given by the parents is reducing their respect of the teachers. But I will tell you, there would be 20, 25, 30 students who are good. Focus on them. Try to make those 5 students also good with your best efforts. But if you are not able to do that, don't take stress. It is their life. If they're hampering their own life. You as a teacher can take 100% effort to do best for them. But if they're not considering your effort, don't stress yourself and don't do extra. I always believe in that particular thing. So thank you all, and I would again like to ask everybody, what is your hobby that you do in order to relieve your stress? Not only exercise we have discussed a lot. Any hobby that you do which help you to release your stress. We have 100 of participants are almost there. Let's have 100 answers from everybody. We are complaining that students are not answering. Okay, that's very interesting. Playing dholak and bhajans, dancing, very nice. So can we have those 100 answers by everybody? Okay, solving puzzles, again a very interesting. Music sessions, great. Yes, writing diaries is also very interesting. Gardening, great. Music, yes. Playing with your loved ones, thinking about loved one is also very interesting. Road trip, that's very interesting. Yes, road trip is also very stress relieving. We have cooking, we have singing. Yes, we have stitching also. That's interesting. Reading, yes. Going for a walk, yes. Playing with your, I think Vinita ma'am have many of the exercises. Walking, yes. Listening to music, gardening, yes, interesting. YouTube watching, yes. We have dancing, sleeping, yes, sleeping is also interesting. Yes, spiritual talks also take you to in another world. Yes, working out is also very interesting work. Playing with the kids, children, cycling is also very interesting. Yes, having a short shower, short bath is again very refreshing. When a student comment unworthy in the chat box, will it make the faculty just a sec? No. Why you are feeling stressed? No. If you have given your 100%, ma'am, what happens many a times, I also give my 100% each time for my talk. And there are some students, but there are some very grown up who write some not very good comment. Maybe not, but I take in a positive manner. And maybe I try to improve it if I think that that improvement could be done. And if I don't think that there's an improvement, let it go. I think many of the things you can avoid and let it go rather than holding on to your stress. Okay, running is also interesting. Spiritual books, yes. Making coffee, drinking coffee, listening to music. That's so interesting. Brajesh sir is helping his wife in household works. That also is very good, very interesting. Listening music is there. Green tea, yes, drinking green tea. Grita ma'am is doing everything, but why still you are facing stress? Then watching cinema, listening to music. Okay. Then we have talk with strangers. Okay. How much secure is that, ma'am? You need to check on that. I usually don't prefer talking with a lot of strangers, although you all are strangers for me, but I think you all as connected participants. So that could be healthy. That could be very much healthy. But unknown strangers, you need to have a security check on that also. Juggle between things rather than focusing on particular tasks. Yes, yes. Juggling with things can be interesting. It can be just a stress reliever for a particular amount of time. Yes. Watching birds is again interesting. Music, cooking, talking with kids, shopping. Yes, Preeti ma'am has said it right. Uh, Shopping is a very great stress reliever. Any kind of a shopping, admiring nature. Yes, positive energy for a good mood. Then we have window shopping. Yes, spending time with nature is also interesting. Discovery Channel. Yes, it connects you to the nature. Surfing on the internet. Yes.
Sherin ma'am, your audio is muted.
Sorry ma'am, it got muted. Then we have new technology. Yes, learning about new technologies. Room cleaning, this is interesting. Walking, I normally get stressed when I do a lot of cleaning. My husband gets de-stressed when he does the cleaning. So we have those chores, we have divided those chores among ourselves. Yes, changing arrangement of room I like. Changing my cushions, changing my some of my like arrangements, I like that. Photography is again interesting. Plantation. Okay. Working more, yes, schedule should be there. Working more can be lot of stressing also. So if you are working on the timelines, it's better. It's better to work on the timelines only. New art of living. How will we match the brain, thinking, and mind? You don't have to match it, ma'am. There's no need of matching. Lead your life in a very, very easy manner. Why we require a lot of matching to be done? No need of matching, no need of mapping, not required. Lead a healthy life with easy going attitude. Rather than stressing yourself, become smarter. Rather than getting harder, as I told you, make your life smarter. $50 locks, okay. That's interesting. Don't buy now more, sir. No need to require to buy more. You can buy something else. So don't buy same things. Then you can be stressed that you have wasted a lot of money on that. So rather than buy something which is fruitful for you also. Prayer is one of a stress reliever, great stress reliever. Yes, spending time with pets is also interesting. Head massaging, yes, head massaging, taking steam. This is also interesting. We got very, very interesting answers, very interactive audience we had. This is one of the, I think, a special comment I should share with the organizers. Very connected and interesting audiences we had. How can we avoid stressful situation? Ma'am, normally avoiding stressful situation has its own paradigms. Like I can give you an example. Normally, when I board an auto, so when I board an auto, normally in Delhi especially, those auto walas are creating a lot of havoc. Okay, they'll charge a huge amount, they will not go. So I have taken a number, that is a number directly connected to the person who find those auto walas. I'll normally shout on those auto walas, and many a times they take me. 100% time they take me, and they don't charge the excess amount because they are stressed that they could be fined. But during my journey, I make a cordial talk with that auto wala. I pay the amount that I have to pay him in a very easy manner. They are not going to a particular place, give stress to me. I normally shout it out and I relax the stress. That's fine. Okay. So many of the situations are need to be tackled rather than keeping that thing in your mind 100 times that I shouted. Let that time go. Yes, yes, yes. It is a short span. It was a short span. It has gone, and keeping that unhealthy situation every time in the mind, avoid it. The best thing is that we can avoid a stressful situation is rather than not being part of it. If you are being a part of it, be a part of it. Enjoy that shout also, a 10-minute shout, and then drink that any kind of a good drink, ruafza or a tang or something like that, and forget it. Forget and forgive. That's the best solution you can have, rather than again and again thinking for it on the same. Get angry, then try to talk in a very pleasant tone. Yes, once you have got angry, it's fine. It's as I told you that there was a very interesting quote that I have put it in my WhatsApp, and that thing is that it's okay to be angry. It's never okay to be cruel. Don't be cruel. Okay, don't be cruel. Angry is fine. Becoming angry sometimes is fine, but it's not okay to be cruel. So avoid being cruel, but you can be angry many a times. So that should not cause you stress. Being in science field, we get promotion based on research, but now in panel cannot work until the lab. That's also creating a lot of stress. If, ma'am, you're not able to work in stress, you can write some papers, you can attend some seminars, something could be done. Alternatives should be thought upon. If you're not able to work on labs, you can do something else that could, because promotions has lot of criterias. Not only one criteria, you can look for some other solutions, other alternatives. There will be alternatives, not only one alternative. Yes, crying relieves stress, person to person. Many times it causes headache for me, but it reduces the stress. So when I'm angry, if I cry, I don't become angry later on, but sometimes it causes headache for me. Converting the stress situation, a short story. As I told you now, when I get stressed with those auto walas, I tell that situation like a joke. So it's better to be happy rather than being stressed all the time. Yes, you can avoid them. You can avoid them. There are a lot of colleagues that can be avoided very easily. In the office, nobody can force you to talk to a person. And as I told you, don't be friendly, but be cordial. It's very easy. It's not important that you need to be friends with everyone, but be in a cordial relation, because not in talking terms can hamper you. Many a times, many people don't feel good when they are not talking to anybody. So try to be cordial. Don't be friends to everybody. Yes, yes. When you go to hospitals, think of the people who are actually more stressful than us, who are facing more difficult diseases than us. So then your stress could be lowered. Yes, good and bad are exactly the part of life. And I think never it's failure. It's you're not able to succeed on something. You are not able to get through something. You will get on the another thing. Just think that this is your one life. You have to learn. You have to adapt. You have to compromise sometimes. You can be bossy also sometimes. So these are situations that you can need to be handled in a very effective manner. I think we had a lot of talk with everybody. Shala ma'am? Anybody, anything else? We had a lot of interactive session with all the audiences. So if anybody wants to connect, anybody wants to, I have also shared my number also, my email ID also, so you can connect. Thank you all. Thank you everybody who were part of this particular journey. I have shared my number on the WhatsApp. Ma'am, if we sometimes share our anger, as I told you, being angry is not a very bad thing. You can be angry many a times. Your children also understand it. Never be cruel. That's the thing you need to avoid. Never be cruel. Your family, our children, are a gift of God from you that are never judgmental. They are people who are never judgmental. Yes, I know when we are going on the professional front, people can be judgmental, but your family is like a gift, and there are people who will never be judgmental you even if you get angry to you. One day you will be angry, the other 1 hour you will be making cake for them. You will be making good dishes for them. So that's fine. So, Shala ma'am, I think we have answered most of the questions.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.